Would you spend the night in a hotel where guests claim to have seen ghostly apparitions, heard phantom children, doors opening all by themselves, possibly a long-date housekeeper? More importantly, would you still stay after hearing what previous guests had happened to them? Tonight, we explore one of America's most infamous hotels, Ghosts and Ghouls podcast. I'm your host, Tyler, and with me I have the guy going on to Roblox as Choke and Chew Charlie, my co-host, Anthony.
I'm not on Roblox.
That's not what this says.
That can say anything.
That can say anything. How you doing?
Doing good. So, just got a little bit of a headache.
We partied a little hard for a birthday last night. If you're new here, this is how this works. Read Anthony here, a fictional horror story about some scary ghost, ghoul, paranormal entity, haunting, extraterrestrial cryptid monster / thing, where I've removed the name of the creature from the story and replaced it with descriptions. Then Anthony here gets to guess what we might be talking about this week. After that, we'll explore its history, how it became so famous, infamous, why it is what it is, its origins, and what we call running the gauntlet, where we put Anthony up against a choose-your-own-adventure horror story where he has to survive whatever we're talking about this week.
Please make sure to go ahead and leave a like, go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell for any notifications. Go ahead and follow us on our other platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Then, we have links in the description. First and foremost, our Patreon. $1 only. Get the episode a day early. We are no longer doing unedited. We are doing uncensored and extended version of it. We're adding the Monster Movie Maker as well as maybe what would Tyler do in this situation. We're going to make him run the gauntlet. So you can get that all on Patreon. We have different tiers. First is just the $1 only member. That's the only one you really need. But if you want us to give you a special thank you, the master tier version, want us to call you master, that's all you got to do. And then we have other links. Join our Discord for forums such as like watching, having watch parties, having book clubs, and as talking on real life encounters and or fictional. And then if you want to send us more folklore, cryptid, creature information and or stories, we have a Gmail. We have our official Gmail in the links in the description below. Our bus route, our audio only. Want to support us, would very much appreciate it. And you can get it just the audio there, or wherever you listen to your podcast. We're on everything. We try to be, at least. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's pretty much it. And then it's just the thank yous.
Thank you, Master Harper.
Thank you, Master Harper.
Thank you, Master Ashley.
Thank you, Master Ashley.
As the harvest time comes in and summer ends, may your crops be, may your harvest be plentiful. I'm ready for hoodie weather, dude. I'm so sick of the heat.
Dude, same.
Big boy like me don't survive in the heat. Yeah.
Am I living with an apparition?
Are you spending the night in probably one of the world's most infamously haunted hotels?
Haunted hotels? No. I'm good.
Would you come visit with?
Would
you come visit it with me?
If I'm in a group, yes. If I'm like, oh,
It's me and you.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I just.
What do you mean?
I'm so reluctant to just do it, but hotels just freak me out in general.
Really?
Oh yeah, I think what was it, The Grudge or the? It was either The Grudge or the other one.
The Shining?
Was it Shining? No, it was The Shining with the two little girls.
Yeah.
In the hallway of the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
You're good?
I'm good. I can't. Hotels just freak me out in general. Yeah. But.
Well, do you have any idea of any haunted hotels that might be?
Is it that one with like hotel room number like 213 or something like that? That's like crazy haunted.
Mm-hmm. You tell me.
Well, I don't know. I don't know the hotel name. I forgot.
Interesting. I honestly think you're thinking of The Shining. I'm pretty sure there's a room in there that's like, yeah, don't go in that room.
Well, no, because there is a hotel that is like, hey, yeah, this is because they had a lot of deaths that come from like, is it mafia gangsters and all that stuff where they like,
ooh,
kill a lot of people. It was like their normal hangouts and stuff. I'm pretty sure Overnight did a thing with it too.
Interesting.
But yeah, like floor 13. You don't go up to this floor because it's like haunted.
No idea?
No.
All right. I love everything you said, right? Because the name of this story is called The Fourth Floor. When Daniel booked 3 nights at the notoriously famous hotel, he wasn't looking for ghosts. He was researching haunted locations for a travel magazine and had already visited dozens of supposedly paranormal places. Every location had turned out to be the same thing: old buildings, suggestible tourists, and stories that grew larger with each telling. This hotel was supposed to be his final stop. Built in 1909, the massive hotel overlooked Estes Park, like a relic from another era. It was beautiful during the day. Sunlight glinted off its windows, tourists strolling around the grounds, families taking photographs. At night, however, it felt different. It felt older, as though it was remembering things. The front desk clerk handed him his room key. "Fourth floor," she said. Daniel smiled. "The haunted floor?" The clerk laughed. "Depends on who you ask." The fourth floor had once housed servants, nannies, and children. Today it was famous for reports of unexplained footsteps, laughter, and apparitions. Daniel arrived shortly before midnight. The hallway was quiet. Ceiling sloped sharply in places, giving the floor a cramped feeling compared to the hotel's grand lower levels. His room overlooked the mountains. Nothing seemed unusual. He spent an hour taking notes before finally turning off the lights. A sound woke him around 2 a.m. Running. Small footsteps. A child sprinting down the hallway, then another, then several more. Daniel sat upright. The sound continued, children laughing. Feet pounded across old carpet, doors opening and closing. The activity sounded so normal that he initially assumed a family was letting their kids run wild. He opened his door. The hallway was empty. The laughter stopped instantly. Not faded, but stopped, as if someone had muted the world. Daniel stood there listening. Nothing. A single sound. The next day, he interviewed some staff members. Most were careful with their wording. Nobody claimed ghosts existed, but many admitted guests frequently reported hearing children playing on the fourth floor, despite no children being present. One employee simply shrugged. Happens a lot. That evening, Daniel joined one of the historical tours. The guide discussed the hotel's famous stories, an explosion in room 217 during a storm in 1911, a surviving chambermaid who supposedly continued caring for guests long after her death, reports of belongings being moved, unpacked luggage, lights switched off and on. The guide treated every story respectfully but cautiously. History first, legend second. Daniel appreciated that until later that night. Around midnight, he returned to his room. His suitcase set open on the bed. Every shirt had been folded neatly. His toiletries had been arranged in a straight line on the dresser. Daniel froze. He had left his room in a hurry. His belongings had been scattered everywhere. He checked the door. Still locked. Nothing appeared missing. Everything simply looked tidier than before. Far tidier than he would ever have left it. Unable to sleep, Daniel wandered downstairs. The hotel was nearly deserted at this point. The grand staircase creaked beneath his feet, and he eventually reached the music room. Many visitors reported hearing piano music there late at night. The room appeared empty. Moonlight spilled across the polished floor. A piano sat quietly against the wall, and Daniel laughed at himself. Of course nothing would happen. Then a single note rang out, soft and clear. The key had depressed. On the piano, Daniel stared. Another note followed, and another. A slow melody emerged, not dramatic or frightening, just a few gentle notes drifting through the darkness. The song lasted perhaps 10 seconds, stopped, and the room fell silent. Daniel crossed the room immediately. No one stood behind the piano, no hidden musician, nothing. Yet the final note still echoed faintly in the air. The worst experience occurred during his final night. He had woken just before dawn. A woman stood beside his bed. Daniel's breath caught. She wasn't transparent, she wasn't glowing, she looked completely real. An older woman wearing clothes from another era. Dark dress, hair pinned neatly, hands folded. For several seconds, neither moved. She smiled politely, the way a hotel employee might smile at a guest. Daniel blinked. She was gone. No dramatic disappearance, no burst of light. One moment she was there, the next she wasn't. The room remained exactly as it had been, except for one detail. The blanket covering Daniel had been pulled neatly up to his shoulders. He checked out that morning, and as he waited in the lobby, he noticed an old photograph displayed near a historical exhibit. The image showed members of the hotel staff from the early 20th century. Daniel's stomach tightened. Near the center stood a woman wearing a dark dress, hair pinned back, the same face and smile. The name beneath the photograph read Elizabeth Wilson, the chambermaid who supposedly survived the Room 217 explosion in 1911. The woman, many guests claim, still walk the halls of this infamous hotel. Daniel never did publish his story. As a journalist, he couldn't prove what he had experienced. He couldn't explain the footsteps, the piano, the careful arranging of his belongings, or the woman beside his bed. But years later, when people ask if the hotel is truly haunted, he always gives the same answer. I don't know. Then he pauses and adds, but if you stay there, be polite to the staff. But he never explains why. So a couple more clues of what hotel it might be.
Oh gosh, did you say the name of it?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
No idea?
Clover Hotel, the Hotel Clover or something like that.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
I've got nothing, but it sounds familiar.
Okay, you're when we get to the part in its history, you're gonna be like, holy shit.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
This is the Stanley Hotel.
Son of a.
High in the mountains of Colorado, surrounded by the rugged beauty of Estes Park, stands a hotel that has become synonymous with ghosts, unexplained phenomena, and American horror. But our story does not begin with ghosts. It begins with a dream. In 1907, F.O. Stanley began construction on what would become one of the most extraordinary hotels in the American West. His vision was to create a place of comfort, elegance, and healing for visitors seeking refuge in the mountain air. At the time, Estes Park was still a remote mountain community. The nearest railroad station was roughly 25 miles away, meaning that simply transporting the materials necessary to construct such an enormous building was an undertaking in itself. The hotel would eventually stand approximately 7,500 feet above sea level, and when it was finished, it looked almost impossible.
That is crazy.
So, the reason we're doing this is I just got back from Colorado, right?
Yeah.
I went and saw the hotel.
Oh, you saw the hotel,
Yeah,
but you didn't get to go in?
We didn't get to go in it.
Okay.
So, next time I go, we're talking about bringing my mother-in-law so she can watch the kids because they do paranormal investigations at night.
Oh my gosh,
in
I
the
would
hotel.
love to go, dude. I need to.
Brother, buy a plane ticket. Let's go.
Oh gosh. But real quick though, I just want to say I watched or listened to Scared to Death. They just did an about a hotel, but this one was in Mexico City, and it was a beautiful, luxurious hotel that this guy wanted to make. Mm-hmm. But then it closed like after a couple months, so his entire dream like came down.
Just died.
And apparently he hung himself.
Oh.
But they say that before he died, he cursed the place. And so if I couldn't enjoy my dream, no one will.
That's haunting.
Oh, it is.
All right. So, the grand opening of the Stanley. It contained 84 rooms spread across a massive 70,000 square feet. For its time, the building was extraordinarily advanced. It contained 398 electrical light fixtures, 90 telephones, private bathrooms, 4 electric trunk lines. F.O. Stanley even operated a hydroelectric plant capable of supplying the hotel with electricity for heating, lighting, and cooking. The total cost of the project reached around $500,000, a staggering amount of money in the early 1900s. The hotel quickly became a destination for wealthy travelers and socialites who came to experience its luxurious accommodations and spectacular views of the Rocky Mountains. Then on June 22nd of 1909, the Stanley Hotel officially opened its doors. More than 150 members of the Colorado State Pharmaceutical Association arrived for the grand opening, traveling from the Loveland Railroad Station in Stanley steamers. For F.O. Stanley, it was a triumph, but the celebration would not last long. something was about to go terribly wrong. So, the first disaster. Only weeks after the hotel's grand opening, F.O. Stanley himself became involved in an early accident. On July 7th of 1909, the Lemire County Independent reported that Stanley had been overcome by fumes of a gasoline engine while supervising machinery near the hotel's laundry facilities. The fumes rendered him unconscious for a couple hours. It was an ironic accident for a man whose fortune had been built largely through his competition with gasoline-powered automobiles. But the incident was nothing compared to what would happen 2 years later, and once again, gas would be evolved. 217. So, on Sunday evening, June 25th of 1911, at approximately 7:50, a tremendous explosion shook the Stanley Hotel. The blast was reportedly heard more than a mile away.
Yeah.
The source was room 217. Although the hotel was equipped with electricity, F.O. Stanley had installed a backup gas system. Gas lamps had been placed throughout the hotel in case the electrical system failed. The system had only been recently installed and reportedly had not yet been regularly used. That morning, concerns arose around problems with the hotel's electrical plant. Employees were instructed to activate the backup gas system. For the first time, gas began flowing through the hotel's pipes. Somewhere above the dining room, a leak developed. Gas accumulated inside the building. Then came the spark. Head chambermaid Elizabeth Lizzie Wilson entered room 217 carrying a candle. The flame ignited the accumulated gas. The resulting explosion tore through the room. The force was enormous, and according to accounts of the disaster, a bathtub was thrown into the air. Doors were blasted from their hinges, and at least 10 plate glass windows on the floor below shattered. Approximately 10% of the hotel's massive structure was damaged, including the entire West Wing. The financial damage was estimated to be around $10,000 in that time. It was a lot. But the most important question was not how much the building would cost, how much it would cost to repair the building. It was if Elizabeth was okay.
Right.
So, she was caught directly in the disaster. Rather than being killed by the blast, she was thrown through a damaged floor and fell into the dining room below. She survived.
Holy shit.
She suffered severe injuries, including broken ankles.
Oh my gosh.
2 waiters were also injured, one struck in the face by a flying piece of wood while the other suffered a dislocated hip. Some later versions of the story claim that additional maids were present of the explosion, and one of them was thrown against the wall before grabbing a fire extinguisher and attempting to fight flames. Others say that Wilson fell into a coma after the explosion. Exactly what happened during her recovery is difficult to establish because so long ago. But what is known, she came back to work. Elizabeth Wilson was a fucking trooper.
Golly.
She would remain connected to the hotel for the rest of her life. She died in 1950. After her death, the story of room 217 changed forever. So after her death, that's when the strange occurrences start happening in the rebuilt room 217.
Oh, okay.
So guests claimed that something was disturbing them at night. Some people reported walking in to find their belongings being moved. Others claimed that their luggage had been mysteriously unpacked and relocated. One particularly strange legend claimed that Wilson's spirit disliked unmarried male guests. According to the story, she would sometimes move a man's luggage outside of his room as though she were reminding him that his behavior was not welcome at the hotel. We don't like bachelors coming here and trying to mess with people.
Okay.
Yet, Wilson's supposed spirit isn't always portrayed as hostile. Quite the opposite. Many stories describe her as a ghost who continues doing the job she performed while alive. Cleaning, tidying, watching over the rooms. Guests have claimed to see a woman moving through the hotel, only for her to disappear or seemingly pass directly through a wall. Others have reported feeling an uneasy presence beside them while sleeping. For believers, the explanation is obvious. Elizabeth Wilson really never left the Stanley. She simply got up and continued working.
That's actually insane. For a woman to get like
blown through a floor.
Blown through a floor And then I'm assuming recovered like for at least a couple weeks.
Well,
or
no, I
months.
think it took like months to a year. Some reports say that she was in a coma.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't think you said like the recovery time.
That's because it's so like disputed. Like there's so many like.
It wasn't really reported that well.
Yeah, like.
Then she decided, you know what? I'm gonna go back to work. Well, probably in that time, it's like you got to.
Tough girl.
That's wild.
So, moving on with our with what's happening in room 217. One of the more famous modern stories surrounding 217 involves an actor. During the filming of Dumb and Dumber at the Stanley Hotel in 1994, Jim Carrey reportedly requested to stay in the room 217.
Oh.
According to the story, he lasted only a few hours before fleeing the room in fear. The legend claims he left after approximately 3 hours and has never publicly explained what happened. Whether the story is true, exaggerated, or simply another piece of the Stanley Hotel's folklore is difficult to determine, but it became another chapter in a growing mythology of 217, and Wilson's ghost is the only one of these entities supposedly encountered in that hotel room. So, we have a couple more. So, the Stanley's other ghost. Over the decades, stories have accumulated through the hotel. Guests began reporting footsteps in empty hallways. Voices appear to come from vacant rooms. Some visitors claim to hear children running and laughing when there's no children present. Others reported seeing apparitions. Eventually, paranormal investigators began treating the Stanley Hotel as something more than a historic building. They began treating it as a place where the living and the dead might somehow overlap. And that brings us to the vortex. According to paranormal investigators and believers, one of the most important locations inside the Stanley isn't a guest room at all. It's the lobby. The hotel's enormous lobby and spiral staircase have become associated with what believers call a vortex. A theory claims that opposing mirrors located near the staircase create a kind of supernatural doorway. According to this belief, the mirrors do not simply reflect one another, they create a passage, a portal, something capable of allowing spirits to enter or preventing them from leaving. Some paranormal accounts describe apparitions appearing around the staircase and seemingly emerging from the supposed vortex. Others believe its location acts as a gathering point for spirits connected to the hotel. There is no scientific evidence demonstrating that mirrors create portals to other realms, but the legend has become deeply embedded in the Stanley's paranormal identity, which is crazy because I went down, like, you know, people are like, nah, mirrors freak me out, right?
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Like one of those, like, hey, we're going to stare into this mirror for as long as possible, and we're going to start seeing stuff move.
Yeah, I'm good.
Like, yeah.
No, I know.
So now you have a staircase and two mirrors that are facing, so, like, you can walk up and look, and there's, like, you know, it's like the...
yeah, no, oh, dude, I hate mirrors so badly.
So, this is where you're going to be like, holy shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me guess, like, Al Capone stayed in there.
The Stanley and Stephen King.
Oh.
Perhaps nothing transformed the Stanley Hotel's reputation more than a single visit by a young horror writer. In 1974, Stephen King and his wife Tabitha stayed at the hotel. The tour season was ending. The hotel was nearly empty. The enormous building was eerily quiet. That night, King reportedly experienced a nightmare involving his young son being chased through the hotel's corridors. When he awoke, the experience became the seed for one of the most famous horror novels ever written. You know what that novel is?
I'm not too sure. Was it The Shining?
The Shining.
You son of a bitch.
The fictional Overlook Hotel was not an exact recreation of the Stanley, but King's experience at the hotel provided the atmosphere and inspiration for the story.
That was so close in the very beginning. I knew it.
The Stanley would eventually become permanently associated with the novel. Interestingly, room 217 was changed to room 237 in Stanley Kubrick's film adaptation. The reason was not because room 217 didn't exist. It was because the filmmakers did not want the fictional story to negatively affect the real hotel. Ironically, the connection to The Shining would eventually do the exact opposite. It turned the Stanley into a destination for horror fans. Yeah. So everybody wanted to go up there and, sniff the pillow Stephen King sat on.
I don't think that sniff the pillow. Really?
Yeah, sniff the couch cushion he was sitting on.
Okay, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go ahead and okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and say, I literally guessed everything, but I just could not say the actual answer.
Yeah. So, a couple more hauntings. There are Lucy and the concert hall. The concert hall is frequently described as one of the most active areas of the Stanley. According to originally constructed for Flora Stanley, the building was designed as a place for music and entertainment. Flora was an accomplished musician, and music remained an important part of all of her life. Years later, however, the building fell into some disrepair. The Stanley experienced significant financial difficulties through the 20th century. Freeland Stanley sold the hotel in 1926, eventually buying it back before selling it again. Subsequent owners struggled with the seasonal nature of the business, and by the 1970s, the property required significant preservation efforts. In the 1990s, the hotel was again in serious financial trouble. According to one of the Stanley's most persistent ghost stories, this is when Lucy entered the hotel's folklore. Lucy is said to have been a young woman who lived inside the deteriorating concert hall when the building had fallen into some serious disrepair. Some versions of the story portray her as homeless, others describe her as a young woman who had taken shelter inside the abandoned structure. When renovations eventually began, Lucy was supposedly discovered and removed from the building. Legends claim that she later died in the cold. There's no definitive historical record establishing every detail of Lucy's story, but her alleged spirit has become one of the Stanley's most recognizable ghosts. Her ghosts, visitors, and paranormal investigators have reported hearing a woman whispering inside a concert hall and witnessing doors move without explanation. Some guests claim that a particular room associated with Lucy seems unusually active. Doors have reported open and close, while investigators have attempted to communicate with her using flashlights and other paranormal investigation equipment. There have also been some photographs interpreted by believers as showing a woman standing behind a visitor or appearing in a reflection. To skeptics, these images can only have ordinary explanation. To believers, Lucy's walking around. They have a couple more where it's
normal ghost encounters.
Yeah, like old,
but it's usually Elizabeth and Lucy being the main.
Yeah, Elizabeth, Lucy. There is Paul and Edward, who were two former hotel workers, and then the Stanleys themselves.
Oh,
have been claimed to be sighted at the hotel. And this is the other one that kind of gave me the chill, was the fourth floor. Guests and paranormal investigators have reported hearing children running through the hallways, laughing, playing, and occasionally knocking on doors. The stories have led some visitors to leave small gifts, particularly candy and lollipops, for the alleged spirits. According to the folklore, these offerings sometimes appear to move. A lollipop left in one location might supposedly be discovered somewhere else later. There's no definitive record. So who are they? Are they former guests, children who once lived in Estes, or are they simply stories that developed of their hotel's reputation? Nobody knows. And then there's the cowboy in room 428.
The cowboy.
The cowboy in room 428.
God.
Room 428 is associated with one of the most colorful characters known as in Rocky Mountain folklore, Rocky Mountain Jim, also known as Jim Nugent. He was a 19th century mountain man who's an outlaw whose reputation became larger than life. He was known for violence, drinking, hunting, and confrontations with other prominent figures in the region. According to local legend, he became an opponent of Lord Dunraven's attempt to acquire land in Estes Park. His life ended violently. Stories surrounding his death have become increasingly legendary, including claims he was shot and survived for months with a bullet lodged in his head. The ghost stories around this room are as equally strange. Guests have reported feeling the presence of a man sitting on the edge of their beds. Others have described sensation that seems to suggest someone is physically present inside the room. Some female guests have even reported waking to the sensation of something touching or kissing them. The alleged spirit is often interpreted as Rocky Mountain Jim, right?
Good old Jim. Still
Jim,
it.
just doing it.
Dirty dog. I mean, that was...
I didn't. Oh, that's so lame of me. So, no, there was a thing that I was reading about when it come to the Rockies, the hotel, and like why it's such a hotbed of like paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess there's a lot of courts in the Rockies.
Okay.
So when you go, like when we went, right? Like my brother lives in the foothills. My brother-in-law lives in the foothills of the Rockies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, all right, we're going up to Estes State Park. And it's like, all right, cool. And you drive south and then you drive west. And you literally, there's a river that comes down out of the mountain. And you literally just drive up a gorge. Like it's two mountains that are just like this. And it's a one way.
Yeah.
And you just follow this river up this gorge, and it just winds and winds and winds and
Going
winds, and then all of a
and
sudden it's like, boom, you're up here. And it's just like a plateaued-esque area where people have just set up to live. And it's a big tourist town now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you turn a corner and like there's the Stanley. And it's like, whoa, holy shit. Like that's a big hotel.
But you're saying that the quartz is...
The quartz is like one of those things that I was reading that a lot of people believe, like, you know, you're in the mountains, there's precious stones.
Yeah.
You know? So they feel like the quartz and the rock help, like, the spiritual energy kind of, like, come to a focus.
Kind of like how ley lines.
Yeah.
Essentially, these quartz
And how
are...
data...
But yeah, like the quartz is acting like the ley lines,
Yeah.
just bringing out energy, or at least focusing the energy there.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I thought that was kind of cool.
I'm gonna be completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it. Stanley, the Stanley Hotel, I don't.
Well, that's why we're gonna go.
I truthfully, I at least don't think the hotel concerning Elizabeth, especially her.
You don't think Elizabeth is real?
I don't think her ghost is there. I don't think her spirit is there.
Why?
There's no way.
Why?
No, I just think it was people's imaginations of wanting a good story. I think people truly just wanted a good story when they go to that hotel because, oh man, at that point it was just becoming probably just another big hotel for the wealthy. It's like, oh, we got to make some. Well, this is gonna be a good story to tell here.
We had a woman get blown through the floor by igniting a room full of gas.
But then it's just like, oh, she lived perfectly fine and lived her life peacefully. Like, she was nice, she was good, and she just, after she recovered, and she just lived nice. You know, no, people don't want that. They want a ghost story.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I truthfully think people just wanted to say, oh, yeah, we're getting haunted by this worker.
Interesting.
The rest, I don't know.
So, we looked at it because we were, they were like, oh, we're going to Estes. I'm like, okay. Like, I didn't know. I didn't know that the hotel that inspired The Shining was as close to me as it was when we were there. So we're like, all right, let's go. And then I started looking, get on the website. It's like history tours. You can do history tours. You can do ghost tours. You can do paranormal investigations. You can be part of a seance.
I would do one.
Like 100% I would.
I'd probably do one. Yeah. With professionals.
Yeah. No, they have like people that lead all this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I was like, oh, I want to go do that. And then we're like, we don't want to drive down the mountain at 1 o'clock in the morning in the dark because there is no light. Like, what do you mean there's no light? They're like, when you are in between the mountains coming down, it's your headlights and the car, like any other car on the road's headlight. There's no street lights. There's no power lines. None of it.
It's just you and the good old
Earth. The road and its curves.
Yeah.
And that was the other thing too. We went hiking and it was like we saw elk, we saw mountain goats, like big goats, and we're pretty sure we saw a moose.
It's all fun and games when you're driving down there like 1 a.m. and then you just see like Bigfoot, Wendigo, Skinwalker all at once.
That was another thing too, man. Dude, they had Bigfoot memorabilia everywhere. They're obsessed with the big man. Like Bigfoot out there, dude. They gotta have one. They probably got like 12 of them. It's probably like their breeding ground.
You know, I never thought about this, but maybe Bigfoot is just the Wendigo.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think Bigfoot. Wouldn't it be crazy?
Oh no!
I want to throw out a wacky.
Oh no!
Well, they talk about Bigfoot like being able to like disappear, right? Right? Like just
yeah.
You'll see him, and all of a sudden he's gone. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Through the national parks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a national park, so I'm wondering if, like, now this is stretching, right? But if there are gateways, and that's what the national parks are built around to protect, and these things are using them to get to and from, if this gateway isn't given enough energy for spirits to really coalesce there.
Mm-hmm. So you think because of the gateways,
yeah,
it's creating like where spirits
basically like a paranormal like anchoring point.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But then, like, you add Bigfoot into it, and it's like, oh, well, Bigfoot's just walking through the gates.
Just walking through the gates?
Yeah. Oh, I'm curious if they have any Dark Watchers up there.
No, that was
only in
the West Coast.
It was only in California, but I'm curious if they have them and just it's not as reported on. Like, oh,
there's too many things that are like already there. Just Colorado.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Like,
so you're thinking that area is just like, or at least one of many, just very big, like, gathering spot of energy of just like everything there.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, like, again, the other reported ghosts, I feel like if it's not tragic a lot of times, or I don't know, because I don't want to say that, because sometimes there's other spirits that are, no, I would say tragic. Yeah, no, I would say any kind of, like, if it's not like a tragic accident or whatever, then the spirits are just like not gonna stay there. They're not gonna be anchored to the earth.
So you're saying the suddenness, the it having to be traumatic in order to
and whether
anchor...
but whether it's a like good person or not, or a bad person, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter with that. It's just if the death was like non-natural.
Interesting.
I feel like would be, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of or if there was never like rituals going on around that I can see. It's like, okay, now we're getting into, you start summoning things, and it's like, oh, so I had actually
fucking Stanleys are just up there. There's a gigantic,
you don't know
there's a gigantic pentagram.
Hold on,
like built into the foundation.
Well, no,
like,
but hold on.
That's where the kids.
But
are coming from.
You never said. Hold on, it was built for the wealthy. Okay, we don't know what they could have been doing. We don't know what kind of, they might have been doing some rituals in the basement, for cults. We don't know.
The crazy thing is, they're still doing rituals in the basement. They're still holding seances and all sorts of shit.
I'm saying like they a different type of, not like a, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking like a blood ritual, like sacrifice this person. I'm saying like something.
And because it's so rural and out there, they wouldn't be getting looked at as much.
I mean, it's a perfect spot, especially if it was around wealthy people. It's like they got money to shut people up.
Just kill them and put them in the basement. And then poor Elizabeth, it blows up and she gets not chucked into the dining room but the basement. And then they were like, you have to keep our secret.
I don't think it goes that far. I don't think the secret goes that far.
It was Elizabeth the whole time.
Oh my gosh.
So,
no, but hold on. I had sent you a reel about a new movie coming out called I think it's called Family. So essentially, it's about this daughter who wants to protect her ill father.
Oh,
so
I did watch that.
So
clip
so she tries to summon a good spirit to protect him, but I guess she does the welcoming, and I guess she's not well versed or whatever from what I saw, and she summoned something way wrong. And now it's just like now, not just her father, but her mother's all messed up, and it's just like watching it. I'm like, that could also happen in the Stanley Hotel. Someone does a summoning, maybe for protection. But they don't ever close the portal
on it. Yeah.
And because of the quartz, because like you said, the quartz is used for a lot of energy or whatever. People could do that.
Yeah.
You know?
That would be crazy.
See, I just don't agree with the Elizabeth sighting. I don't agree with the initial, like, the moment she died, it sparked stuff.
You don't think so?
I just don't think so, yeah.
That's crazy.
With that.
I think Elizabeth is there. I want to go talk to her.
I think
girl, retire. It's been 200. It's been 130 years, girl. Like you have worked enough.
She's still waiting for her paycheck.
That would be that. She's still waiting on the insurance claim.
Oh fuck!
From her fucked up ankles.
What else happened with her? It was ankles, and then
no. I mean, obviously, like burns and shit.
Burns,
but
and probably like
I think
ribs
what happened
breaking.
is she opened the door and went to step in and just said, and it just blew her, like it blew her down, and she just went through the floor. And I think it broke her legs. I mean, obviously she was burned, but I mean, they fixed her up enough to send her back to work, though.
That was freaking wild.
I'd be damned. If I get blown through the floor at work, I am not going back. Like,
was Stanley still alive during this time,
Mm-hmm.
or did he? Because I know the first disaster you said he.
Yeah,
he passed.
he's still alive.
Oh, he was still alive.
Yeah.
He still is. No, he's not. Okay.
No, he's gone. He's one of the
was
ghosts.
like-
Him and his
I was
wife
like,
are one of the
he's
ghosts
still
now.
alive? Like, holy-
No, he was alive when that explosion happened.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know he did not want to pay her. It's like, listen, I'll give you a raise.
There are, I truly do think that the people who ran things like that were not as monstrous and greedy as they are today.
No. So from what it sounds like Stanley was at least like a decent.
Yeah,
wealthy man.
He had some money. He was like, I want to build a hotel.
Yeah.
I want to build it in a beautiful scenic place that people will come to appreciate.
Yeah.
Built the hotel. And that's the other thing too, is like, when we go to Estes and you think about how it's laid out and where like the roads are at, if you take all the touristy bullshit out and you see where the Stanley is at and everything else, it's a gorgeous.
Oh, dude, I think that he
place.
just wanted to create a beautiful place, like you said, and then he accomplished that. But like, I think he was just another person who had like earned his way, got his money, was a wealthy man. It was like, I want to build my dream now.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
But I don't think he was a malicious man from the accounts.
Until he was not paying Elizabeth for her broke ankles, which would have been fucking crazy.
I think he just paid her really well after. Like, I'm talking, you get so much benefits. I'm talking free stay at the hotel. Matter of fact, you could stay in the room that exploded. Can you imagine that'd be some shit?
I would be pissed, man.
We're gonna let you live at the hotel for free.
No.
But it's gonna be the room that
you don't get to live at the hotel for free. We're gonna give you a week's vacation. Here are the blackout dates. It cannot be peak season. Like, you have to come dead of winter, like, and you can stay here for a week.
But it has to be the room. It has to be 217.
And it's only lit by candles.
Oh fuck. Nah, I would actually be pissed. But from what the other accounts, I might have blacked out or zoned out or whatever. There wasn't any malicious ghosts.
No, there's really not a whole lot of.
It just seems like a lot of rage baiting ghosts, kind of like trolling you, or just like, just very like messing with you. And
well, yeah, and I think it's probably one of those things where it's the
passive aggressive ghosts.
I don't even think they're passive aggressive.
Well, no, because it said Elizabeth hated There's
Oh,
not
the
like unmarried
married men. Yeah,
men
yeah.
there.
Like,
It's
leave
like,
their bags out their
but she
door.
doesn't hurt them. She just
No, like,
pushes your stuff
yeah,
and just like,
get out. I'm not playing with you.
Yeah.
No, I think, like, even though people pass, and the hotel is like kind of a hotbed for paranormal stuff, I think a lot of it comes in as people passed and they weren't ready to move on, and that's where the anchor point is. So they just anchored there.
Okay. See, I had actually talked about that with my parents. I think only spirits form when the person themselves never even wanted to come, never wanted to leave.
Go. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Especially that one lady in Brazil or Colombia, I think it was. She was asleep. Her husband was driving, and then they got in an accident on like one of the mountains or whatever. But she was dead, like on impact.
Yeah.
Quick, but she was still asleep. So like they say, she didn't even know she was dead. But now, every time on the road, she's there hitchhiking. You take her, gone, vanished. But she's famous for. Yeah.
They're hitchhiking ghosts. It was kind of like oh my god, what was her name? Resurrection Mary.
Yes.
Same thing. She young, had her whole life ahead of her. Died. Now what does she do? She's still trying. She's trying to find her way home.
Yep.
Probably does not understand that she's passed. Just like almost a fate worse than death.
Ugh.
And that's kind of another crazy thing too, because like thinking about like it being baked into trauma, like you never really hear of somebody who's like accepts their fate being like still here. Like even Cowboy Jim, like Jim led a rough and tumble, like outlaw-esque mountain man lifestyle. Like motherfucker wasn't ready to leave the woods. Like,
oh no, and some stuff maybe was morally wrong, but he was just living life.
Yeah,
he was just like, oh, gung-ho about it
until he starts kissing ladies at night.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like to him, he was just living life.
Yeah. All right, are you ready to try the gauntlet?
Absolutely.
This is, to be honest, should be pretty quick.
Okay. Easy.
Mostly because they're not really aggressive ghosts.
No, I know. Do you know who I am? I'm the best survivalist out there. Every gauntlet that I've been through, I have survived.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
The winding mountain road disappears behind you as your car climbs towards the legendary Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. A massive white building looms against the Rocky Mountains, its red roof glowing beneath the setting sun, beautiful and elegant. And according to countless visitors, haunted. You've come,
as always,
because of the stories. Phantom piano, ghostly children running through empty hallways, the mysterious woman in 217. You've seen figures at the top of the grand staircase. As you step into the lobby, the air feels strangely cold despite the summer evening. The receptionist hands you a key. 217, she says with a smile. The room made famous by both history and ghost stories. You take the old-fashioned key, you notice something odd. A woman in vintage clothing stands at the top of the staircase staring down at you. You blink, she's gone. A chill crawls down your spine. What do? You can go directly to 217, investigate around the grand staircase, explore the empty fourth floor before checking in.
I'm just going to go straight to 217.
Okay. You take the stairs up to the second floor. The hallway is silent. Room 217 waits at the end of the corridor. You unlock it and step inside. The room looks normal enough. Antique furniture, large bed, a sitting area, bathroom. You set your luggage down. The bathroom door slowly creaks shut on its own. Click. You stare. Nobody else is here. Then the sound of footsteps echo above you. But in this wing, you're on the top floor of the section. There shouldn't be anyone overhead. Footsteps continue back and forth, then stop directly above your bed. A woman whispers, "Leave." Do you investigate the bathroom, leave the room immediately, or call out and ask who's there?
Leave immediately.
I mean, you can. That is a choice. It's what it's there for.
I feel like, yeah, no, I'd leave it immediately. I'm going to be honest.
I know you would. You grab your belongings and leave immediately. The moment you reach the lobby, a deafening crash echoes from upstairs. Guests and staff rush towards the second floor. Later, you learn a heavy chandelier fell inside your room. moments after you left. No explanation is ever found. You spend the night in another hotel.
And that's it. And that's it. This is why I'm not good at scary movies. I would not be.
My man says, "No, I'm out. Peace."
Well, hold on. Depending on how she said leave, it's like, leave. You know, in a way of like, hey,
like
something's about to happen.
If you don't leave, something bad's about to
yeah,
happen.
maybe she was helping me out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay. You think they have emotion like on their words sometimes?
100%. Do you think a ghost is just like, leave, get out? You know, they put all sorts of emotion in that shit.
Yeah, but it's always going to be the same.
Fuck out.
No, it's always going to be the same.
Leave, please.
Leave. Just so happy.
Brother.
Brother.
Brother, leave.
No, but like, it's going to be one emotion. It's going to be It's always going to be angry because that gives the most power, you know? And because it's like, I feel like they're not angry. Maybe sometimes they're not. Oh, there goes your Buckies. Yep, there goes your
not
Buckies.
Not my Buckies.
But what I'm saying is that when saying it, having the energy to say it, they're just mad because they can't say it normally. So maybe they're not mad at you, but just in general.
Just mad in general.
Yeah.
Fight us, man. I wanted to sit up a little bit more. All right.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. If you want to, you know, obviously there's been a movie made about this hotel.
Yeah.
So we'll see all you people.
We're going to be doing the Moonster Movie Maker moment.
Friendly little friends on Patreon.
Absolutely.
For the extended stuff. If you're here from YouTube.
Yeah. Just gonna say, if you've enjoyed, please make sure to go ahead and leave a like, go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell for any notifications, as well as go ahead and share to other people that you might think it will enjoy this. Follow us on our other platforms, as well as links in the description. $1 only to get the Patreon day early, uncensored, extended version to have the Monster Movie Maker, as well as maybe having Tyler run the gauntlet. And then our other links, including Buzzsprout, where you can help us out. Very much appreciate it. It's the audio only. You don't have to. We're on everything else. So, and then if you want to send in, you know, fictional encounters or real encounters, we would love to hear those on our Gmail official. So
send us your real shit. We want to know.
Absolutely.
We want to know what our listeners go through, their paranormal.
Oh, dude, I would love to hear some actual like encounters.
Like some, yeah.
We've gotten some on comments.
Yeah.
But they're like very, very little. But
Yeah,
but that's pretty much it. So, ghosts and ghouls.
Ghosts and ghouls.